Show on location from Manchester, New Hampshire. Don Imus and his guests discussed the results of Tuesday's primary. Cokie Roberts of ABC News, Tim Russert of NBC News, and Mike Barnacle of the Boston Globe are among the guests. The radio program runs 4 hours.
Well, it's coming up on a minute till the top of the hour, and for some inexplicable reason, we're still there. So.
It's this right now, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. It seems sort of goofy. Is Eileen there? Eileen?
Hey, Imus.
How you doing, baby?
Good. How are you?
Well, I'm all right. What are the cars doing? Anything that I don't know about?
Nothing major yet. Just a lot of flooding out there. A lot of rain over there. But no closures. Speed reductions on our bridges.
No wrecks or anything?
No major wrecks. Not yet.
You almost seem disappointed sometimes when there's not, some 28-car collision of some kind.
I'm just so thrilled over Pat Buchanan that I just, have happiness in my voice.
Well, it's good for us because it's better than a pennant race. I mean, if you like politics, this is like a pennant race.
That's it.
Will be for the next, I don't know. I'd like to be a little more enthusiastic here, but I've had some coffee and...
It's difficult.
It'll kick in.
It's not 6 o'clock yet,
No, it's not.
You're doing fine.
Anyway, I am Imus in the morning, and this is WFAN in New York, an Infinity Broadcasting Station. It's time for the local news. We'll get to the national in a couple of minutes.
All right.
And also to Mike Barnacle, who's been very kind enough to once again take his life in his own hands and come into New Hampshire and appear on this stupid program. So Mr. Barnacle's not in the Boston Globe this morning because he said he just didn't feel like it.
That's
so
true.
What's it all right about, he said. So we'll find out what he was going to write. Well, he's not scheduled to be in today. He has one of those really hard jobs where he has to write a column twice a week.
Oh, boy.
So for about $1 million a year. Anyway, it's time for the news, sponsored by the New York Stock Exchange, and here with that is Charles McCoy. Good morning, Charles.
Good morning, man. 48 degrees right now. The high weather, occasional rain and or drizzle today. The high 55. Tonight, foggy, chance of light rain, low 45. Tomorrow, chance of rain, the high 55. And Friday's outlook partly cloudy, high again in the middle 50s, and it's 48 at the moment. And as Eileen indicated, it is raining. In the headlines, Pat Buchanan wins a squeaker in New Hampshire, 27% of the vote to Bob Dole's 26%. Lamar Alexander pulled 23%. Steve Forbes well back at 14%, says he is staying in the race nevertheless. Political analysts saying yesterday's primary results mean the GOP nomination is now up for grabs. CBS's Dan Rather says if Buchanan continues to run well and fails to get the nomination, he could run on a third-party ticket. Mayor Giuliani says there's no way he would ever endorse Patrick Buchanan for president or anything else as he appeals to people's worst instincts. The Oklahoma City bombing trial moves to Denver, Colorado. The Los Angeles jury acquits rapper Snoop Doggy Dogg and his bodyguard of murder charges. Jurors, however,
All right, Snoop.
Yes.
All right, Snoop.
Remain deadlocked on a voluntary manslaughter charge, which has yet to be dealt with. A relatively obscure British rocker from a band called Pulp jumped onto the stage at the British Music Awards while Michael Jackson was performing and beat up 3 children who were performing with him. Jackson, apparently oblivious, simply continued to sing. I don't know.
Well, it's better when he probably would have done to him later.
And the artist formerly known as Prince, man, is now currently known as Prince. Spike Lee apparently had something to do with straightening out the identification of the person known or is known or was as Prince.
How about Princess?
And locally, Edward Leary collected used car batteries at his Scotch Plains, New Jersey home months before a couple of firebombs were set off aboard Manhattan subway trains. His wife, Margaret, said almost a year before he began acting strangely, Leary told her he was on the antidepressant Prozac. Ms. Schaller, the first defense witness in her husband's trial, testified in Manhattan State Supreme Court as the firebombing aboard the subway train's trial continues. Imus in the morning news time, now 3 minutes after 6 o'clock.
They're one of the largest institutional investors in the U.S., managing more than $50 billion in pension funds. We were at the New York Stock Exchange with GE Investments Chairman Dale Fry. Dale, what makes GE Investments so unique?
We leverage the expertise of all of GE to make the best investment decisions for us and our investors.
Well, I was off mic. And
That's why the New York Stock Exchange is key. It's the world's
Levels
largest
were all
equity
shot.
market with a market cap of more than $6 trillion and the largest concentration of buyers and and sellers.
So liquidity's important. What else?
Quick execution and best possible price, which we also get from the exchange.
What's your investment philosophy?
We put customers
Chuck,
first, just like the exchange.
let's,
Open trading puts everyone on a level playing field.
What if
throughout the news, we'll spend a little time with Barnacle, you know, and we'll take it all the way to
Retirement plan for 5 shares for a birthday present. Invest in the best
14.
companies in the world. They're at the New York Stock Exchange.
the New York Stock
We'll try
Exchange puts its stock in us?
to get this, you know. Said we want to spend more time with you in that top portion here than.
Remember, Tums helps relieve your heartburn. It gives you calcium, something your body needs anyway. You don't get calcium from Atlanta Liquid or Pepsid AC. Effective calcium-rich Tums. It's like health food for your bones, and it's dependable medicine for your stomach. Available at Genevieve. This week, when you buy Tums at Genevieve, you'll not only save money, you'll help contribute to the WFAN 1996 Radiothon to support the CJ Foundation for Century Research and tomorrow's Children's Fund. Together, we can lend a hand and make a difference for the children of our country. You're looking good at Genevieve. We'll take good care of
Obviously thought that was a good idea. Hi, I'm Imus. Good morning. It is 5 minutes past the hour, and we are still in Manchester, New Hampshire. It's like 3 drunks, and there was a party, and everybody's gone home except us. You know, we woke up, and here we are. We're still here.
Got that 33rd and 3rd% right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We are here for. You're too close to the microphone again, Bernard. Let's not go through. Please, let's not go through that again today. We're here for Q106 and Mix 96.7 and I-93 and I-107, which are the 4 radio stations that we are on in Connecticut. And Mike Barnacle from the Boston Globe is here with us.
Yeah, welcome to Connecticut. He's all right. He had a stroke during the night, but he's going to be fine.
Man, it's a great country, isn't it? Snoop got off and Buchanan won the New Hampshire primary.
It's unbelievable.
Doesn't get any better.
That's right.
Well, we'll get to all that stuff. It's time for the national news now. And before we go any farther here.
Yeah.
This is really pathetic. Pat O'Brien
Pitiful.
from CBS Sports FedExed a bunch of pictures to Barnacle. He wants to be on C-SPAN. That's how.
So here we are.
That's how much.
That's sad. Terrible.
That's how much CBS sucks. Looking to get plugged on C-SPAN, you know.
You know what's worse? Am I on here?
Yeah.
You know what's worse?
No.
He designated me a franchisee. I can sign his autograph now up here. You know, I mean, I'm a Pat O'Brien franchisee. I mean, he's such a loser. He's sitting out there in L.A. with no career, no hair, and he's sending me pictures to sign for you people here. And the worst part about it is that several people in New Hampshire want me to sign Pat O'Brien's name on the picture.
So it's not even really his autograph, right?
No. It's...
All right, it's time for the national news, and here with that is Charles McCoy. Good morning, Charlie.
Good morning, I-Man. Pat Buchanan is saying his win in yesterday's New Hampshire Republican primary is a victory for his brand new, bold conservatism, as he describes it. Buchanan walking away with 27% of the vote, beating Senator Bob Dole by 1 percentage point. Former Tennessee Governor Lamar Alexander came in close third, turning 23%. Steve Forbes, distant fourth, 12%. People in New Hampshire claiming his negative campaign ads did him in. For Buchanan, it was a grand night for singing.
That doesn't sound like this in a beer hall, does it?
Barnacle at a Red Sox game. Sounds like me, yeah.
In a play ball. He claims the New Hampshire win proves he is indeed the man to beat for the GOP nomination.
We came out of Alaska, we came out of the tundra, we went down to the bayou of Louisiana, we did it again. When we drove across those frozen cornfields of Iowa, they said his trade message will never be heard out here. It was heard. And we came up here along that river with those red mills there. We won it all in Manchester. We're going on in San Diego. We're going on to the nomination. We're going on to the layout.
Senate Majority Leader.
I think he's got to stop sounding like Rommel. I'm talking about massing the troops on the border and stuff. But it's great for us. It's like we were talking earlier this morning. It makes it, if you like politics, it makes it like a pennant race, you know.
Tailor-made, Senate Majority Leader Dole had this to say last night about the Buchanan win and his candidacy.
We will decide if we are the party of fear or of hope. If we are a party that keeps people out or brings people in.
Well, whatever.
If we are angry about the present or optimistic about the future. That's going to be the debate the next 30 days, the next 26 primaries, the next 30 days.
Senator Dole also pointing out he has overcome adversity in his life before, and he vows that he will do it again.
I thought he had more emotion last night at his when he spoke after, you know.
Yeah, much more animated.
But he seemed a little cranky, didn't he?
But yes, he did.
Was not interested in having him go. Yeah. It's like me.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Was not interested. That'll be enough. Shut up. Let me talk and get out of here.
Give me some coffee, damn it.
Take a nap. Yeah.
He's not as old as you.
No. What did you make of all this, Barnacle?
It's interesting. First of all, it's going to be tremendous theater.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tremendous fodder for everyone for the next, I guess, couple of months. But I think everyone makes a mistake. Everyone in our business, well, my business.
Yeah, you're the journalist here, by the way. Let's get that straight.
Makes a mistake by, you know, taking Buchanan lightly and indicating that it's all, you know, race or anger that's feeding his vote. I think it's a lot deeper than that and a lot wider than that. He was the first to recognize it and the first and the best to articulate it, and he's cashing in on it.
You pretty much characterized him in your column as a Nazi, though, haven't you?
Well, he might be. You know, I don't think he is, actually, but you know, he's got those tendencies, right? But, you know, it's watching him this last week up in New Hampshire is like watching Roger Clemens the night he struck out 19 Seattle Mariners. I mean, the guy has just been in the groove, in the zone, whatever.
Yeah.
He was, you know, he couldn't strike him out today. He's too fat. But, you know, I mean, everything he was saying, right across the plate, right to the heart. People heard it. He was the only one saying it, and you have to respect that.
What a surprise Jose Canseco didn't show up on the first day of spring training. I can't believe that.
Yeah, everyone was stunned.
Well, he lives in Miami, and spring training's in Fort Myers, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's another country.
Yeah.
Miami.
What else, Chuck?
Former Tennessee Governor Lamar Alexander says the GOP presidential race is now a two-man contest between himself and Mr. Buchanan.
The debate will be between my ideas, fresh conservative ideas,
Lou,
to build a picture.
That's just it. How about Forbes, man? How long do you think you can?
No, I mean I hate Lamar Alexander, and I don't hate Steve Forbes, but there's no. I mean, Steve Forbes, did you see him last night?
Yes, I did.
What a goof. I mean, he still thinks he got 12% of the vote, and he still thinks he's setting the agenda. He's not setting anything. Setting a table for a family of his, man.
You want to hear from him? See how long you can take him? It's only a 14-second cut.
Let's see if I can actually stand Steve Forbes for 14 seconds. This will be good.
Let me introduce him.
All right, go ahead.
Steve Forbes says despite his poor showing yesterday, he's still in the race for the duration.
Several politicians told me, several experienced people told me
Lou.
that they're
That wasn't even 5 seconds.
All right.
It wasn't 5 seconds.
All right.
Yeah, no, people are sick of him.
A crowd pleaser.
It's over and get out.
Get lost.
Cokie Roberts, who will be here a little later, let's not get too, you know, Cokie's coming dressed.
He didn't say Cindy Crawford. Yeah. She thinks she's going to get up on the table?
Yeah, she does. She's not coming over here to lap dance.
No.
And Tim Russert from NBC will be here as well. So
he might not make it.
Pardon me?
He might not be able to make it. I checked the weight thing on the elevator, and I don't know whether to bring him up.
I wouldn't be doing fat jokes if I were you.
CBS anchorman Dan Rather, who was a guest yesterday morning on the Imus in the Morning program, says Buchanan is the candidate certainly to watch now. Here is Dan Rather's assessment of what happens next.
Buchanan becomes a major player in the 1996 presidential race now. There are many Republicans who believe that in the end, Buchanan can't and won't get the nomination. My own guess would be, and I can give you only that if he doesn't get the Republican nomination, that Buchanan may very well break off and run some kind of third party and run for president as third party, because Buchanan he's staked out a clear position for himself. He does have a clear constituency.
All right. It's hard to argue with Dan's assessment of the situation.
Call home, Dan.
Former Vice President Quayle and some other Republicans say Buchanan's slim victory means the GOP nomination is in fact up for grabs, and some speculate we could see a draft Powell, as in former Joint Chiefs Chairman Colin Powell, at the 96 Republican Convention. In other words, there simply is no clear-cut choice to become the party's standard bearer as of this morning, and the former general could get yet another call to step forward and serve the country. Mayor Giuliani of New York, no way he would endorse Pat Buchanan for president or for anything else. The mayor ripping Buchanan, quote, as somebody who has spent his life dividing people.
We talked with Mike Barnacle from the Boston Globe, a little more coming up, and also Richard Nixon and Beavis and Bubba and General George S. Patton for you folks. Should, in some people's estimation, the host, but anyway, all that stuff is coming up.
Breaking the storm on June 6th. Eisenhower ordered the invasion to go ahead. He doesn't know he'll slip it in his pocket just in case the invasion went badly. Our landings have failed to gain a foothold, and I have withdrawn the troops. If any blame or fault attaches to this attempt, it is mine alone. Chairman Weatherman did not predict a break in the storm, and Rommel went back to Germany to celebrate his wife's birthday.
The bumper. That's very nice, Lou. All right, let me talk to you about Smokey Joe's Cafe. They're in their absolute blown-away hit musical on Broadway, starting its second year. Received a Grammy nomination for the Best Cast Album. Well, I've received a Grammy nomination this year.
Absolutely. What's that mean?
I don't think that's a big deal, but you can call 212-239-6200 telecharge for reservations to see Smokey Joe's Cafe. It is at the Virginia Theater. Features all those great songs that Lieber and Stoller wrote for everybody from Elvis and the Coasters to the Drifters and a bunch of other folks. Looked at Yakety Yak and Poison Ivy and Hound Dog for Elvis, and There Goes My Baby for the Drifters and all that stuff. Directed by I Fave Jerry Sachs, who's doing a new thing now with, he's doing a revival of something funny happened on the way to someplace performing. Yeah, man, I feel horrible. Anyway, Lieber and Stoller, Virginia Theater, Smokey Joe's, check it out.
Longing for the summer heat? Well, the wait is over. The beach party.
When you come back and you're doing Aurora Penn's book.
It's the great stars from the popular summer tours, men and women battling for $150,000.
Bernie.
Adam Johnson, Mike Todd.
Go through all this before you go through everything. You won't do that.
Nancy Reno. Let's call them summer fun.
Yeah, I have to go back to
Mike, when they speak of a brokerage convention, what exactly is
That's what it means, just simply that it's there's a whole lot more strangers.
The name for quality, affordable health plans offered in Manchester in the tri-state area. The first part of the name, NYL, comes from the initials of the parent company, New York. Oh, okay. Now cares known for its broad spectrum of health benefits products and programs, which already provide peace of mind and healthcare coverage to more than 3.5 million Americans. The second part of the name, it's derived from its mission, to care.
Russert kept calling every hour.
After that came down, synonym for healthcare. Only one answer, peace of mind.
Now in the tri-state area, peace of mind is in the name. Not care health plans, a New York health company. For more information, call 1-800-733-2555.
The most money.
That's cool. That is the best possible.
He's in good shape again today. Huh? coming back right from here?
Yeah, well,
Did you have plenty of free ice in the Holiday Inn up there? I'm glad they made it up with your chair.
Huh?
I'm glad they made it up with your chair.
That chair is a critical element.
Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile Bed Highway Patrol. 48 degrees in New York City under dense fog. Scattered showers today with a mild temperature of 55 degrees. In the Bronx, we have double trouble. Southbound Major D approaching the Triborough Bridge. We have a disabled traffic trailer blocking one lane. That's all it takes. The Union already backing up down the George. Westbound Cross Bronx Expressway crews on the scene of an oil spill at Jerome Avenue. And eastbound, of course, slowing down to Roanoke there. Southbound BQE approaching the LIE watch for a stalled vehicle in the right lane. And in New Jersey, there is a dense fog advisory on Route 280 in and around the area of West Orange. So use caution over those bridges today. Lots of speed reductions because of the fog. Southbound BQE at the LIE, we have a stall in the right lane. And Amoco Ultimate takes first place as the premium gasoline drivers rate the highest quality. So go for the winner, Amoco. You expect more from the leader. I'm Andy Marquez Cohen for the Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile Bed Highway Patrol.
Imus in the morning. 2020 Sports.
The party continues in Astoria, New York. Good morning. Imus staffers not back in New York while the I-Man visiting New Hampshire, just trying to make the best of it. They desperately miss their leader. Yeah, I can see you. I'm on TV. Can you wave to me? I'm ready to do right now with one finger.
You really are an idiot.
I think I got one of those pictures like in the lower corner of the screen like CNN does when they have a reporter.
Well, that's...
Pat O'Brien's picture up there, that was fine. From the NBA last night, a tough night for America's team. They lost to the one-time NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks, 92-87 last night.
When were the Milwaukee Bucks? Back in the 70s?
Yeah.
Well, give it. I mean, that's been 25 years, Mike.
70-71, to be exact. But Coach John Nelson wasn't too upset with his team.
This one really wasn't that bad.
Nice coffee attitude from the brand new Knicks coach. Some other games, John Stockton becoming the NBA's all-time steals leader as Utah beat Boston 112-98. Orlando beat Philadelphia. They're 28-0 at home. Chicago pounded Cleveland. They're 24-0 at home. 47-5 overall. Portland lost at home to San Antonio. And Magic Johnson hurt in the first quarter last night of the Lakers game with the Clippers. A strained calf muscle.
That'll be fine. We don't need any of that. Let's go there.
Okay. He did not return. He entered it while trying to remove his condom. Lakers.
For crying out loud. You know, for God's sake. How is this helpful? It's not.
Just reporting the facts.
Well, fine.
Lakers beat the Clippers 121-105. Johnson listed as day-to-day, but then again, aren't we all? And finally, baseball news. Red Sox held their first full spring training workout yesterday, and Jose Canseco was late. Didn't show up until the very end. What? And here's Jose's reaction.
He should be ecstatic. I'm here 6 days early. If anyone ever checks the records, I've never come in early before. So he should be extremely ecstatic that I'm here 6 days early. I know the actual reporting date is not this Tuesday, it's next Tuesday.
Good team attitude from Jose Canseco.
Guy plays the outfield like Ray Charles. You ever seen him trying to, I mean, what, he's going to play right field this year for the Red Sox?
Right field, yeah.
Jesus, I mean, well, you know, is Kevin Kennedy still a manager of the Red Sox?
Yes, he is.
So they've just given up.
He's got a new cell phone, too.
Well, they just don't want to win, so that's all.
Clearly.
All right, here now, Beavis and Bubba with an ode to the geeks in the GOP.
Oh, look at all the homely people. They suck. Oh, look at all the homely people. Lamar Alexander.
tender, Tennessee eyes that are beady and jacket of plaid. Don't he look bad? Steve Forbes is goofy, like a ventriloquist dummy with holes in his face.
What a mouth.
What a disgrace, all the homely people. Where do they all come from? All the homely people. When will they all be gone? Patrick Buchanan, fighting the claims of the press, he's a little extreme.
Listen, dude.
White is supreme, look at his picture. Don't you think if you were him when you walk down the street, you'd wear a sheet? All the homely people, where do they all come from? All the homely people, when will they all be gone? Ah, look at all the homely people.
They suck.
Ah, look at all the homely people. Come this November, when the American public is called on to choose, I just can't lose. Republican Party won't have a guy on the ballot, it's easy to see. As pretty as me, all the homely people, where do they all come from? All the homely people, soon they'll all be gone.
Beavis and Bubba here in the Imus and Wine program. I could,
What?
It wears on my nerves here. We are, for some reason, we're still in, but you know, we're still in Manchester.
Yeah.
The people who are here are people who could not get a plane out of here. So, but there are a couple hundred folks here again this morning. You know, you people can, you don't have to
whoop
be
it up
quiet.
a little bit.
You don't have to make, I mean, you don't have to be quiet because we don't care. It doesn't make any difference. No television cameras bother you, and. Many of you in us in the front, if you want to get a little more to eat, why, you know, there's stuff around. So in other words, just relax. You don't have to be quiet or whatever. You know, we can do what you want. Mike Barnacle from Boston Globe is here. We're going to talk to him in just a second. A couple things I want to clear up. The guy who owns this restaurant, which is a beautiful place, it's called the High Five Restaurant, and it's 17 floors, the top of this building in Manchester. And I suggested yesterday that he was, you know, just going broke, and he's not.
Yeah.
So want me to explain that?
Okay.
Some, you know.
It's not suicide hotline.
No, his name is Peter. Peter Telgene. He's a very nice guy. He also manufactures beer, which you'll be interested in, Barnacle.
Free beer?
Well, yeah, I guess it's called Tash's Red Tail Ale. It's the best beer in New Hampshire, according to him.
I believe it.
It's. It's brewed by the Stark Mill Brewery here in Manchester, and he's a very nice guy in a High Five restaurant. It's fine. He's not threatening to jump out of the thing. And then the limo driver, old Ed, he wanted me to mention his name. Edward. Just drive the car and shut up. Now, there's a Star Limousine in Hooksett, and his name is Edward Keefe, isn't that it? And he's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
And, but, you know, I just...
He drives well.
He drives fine, and
sure.
Please be quiet. Leave me alone.
Accelerator, brake, accelerator. He knows.
And we're here for WHDQ, which is Q106 in Claremont, and WSRI, Mix 97.7 in Rochester, and WNHI and WRCI, I-93 and I-107 are the four radio stations. So you don't seem like all that been out of shape over any of this. Out of Buchanan or any of that stuff.
Well, you know, I should have...
Well, I don't feel well.
I'm shocked. You don't feel well? Let's have a medical update.
Please stop making fun of me because I don't feel well anyway,
okay.
So it's not going to be helpful.
It's going to make it worse.
Make me feel worse, and, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, do you think it was surprising? You've been up here 24 hours, 48 hours. I mean, you could see the thing coming. You could see Buchanan coming. You could see poor Bob Dole, 72, and Acton, 92, sounding 102.
No.
Not catching on. You know, talking like a conference committee report. You had 200,000 people vote. The difference between the two of them, I think, is about 1,100 white people.
No.
You know, but what happens today doesn't mean that that's what we're going to all write or that's going to be cast in stone for tomorrow. I mean, these guys still have a long ways to go. So who knows what's going to happen?
Well, I guess Buchanan, I mean, I guess the deal is that if Alexander has to get some money from, and all of the people who give money to these Republicans have to decide if they're going to give it. I guess Dole has enough money to, but if they give Buchanan, I mean, if they give Alexander enough money and he gets a couple endorsements, then he might be able to. He's got to win someplace, doesn't he?
He's got to dump those shirts first of all. I'll tell you that, those plaid shirts.
You wouldn't think a guy like that who could turn $1 into $620 or $30 or $40,000 would need any money, but I mean, why didn't he work on some of that magic again? But well, Tim Russert and Cokie Roberts are both going to come over this morning, and they'll add some further perspective to all this. Cokie Roberts, by the way, predicted last Thursday on Nightline, because I saw her predict it, that Pat Buchanan would win this thing. So, well, we actually thought we all thought that he would win even by more than, I mean, you're right, we didn't have that sense that he was going to even win by more than he did.
Yeah.
I mean, 27-26, it's all a perception thing. But I thought Bob Dole spoke with more passion last night, you know.
Than we had seen him throughout.
My brother Fred thinks, Fred thinks that now Dole will have to actually campaign, and that this probably is, if he's going to win it, he's going to have to actually win it. He's not going to just, like everybody thought he was going to do, just... Everybody was going to roll over, and he was going to be the nominee. He wasn't going to have to do anything. We're talking about leadership.
You know, part of it happened to Muskie up here in '72. Part of it is you're in that. You know what the vote is before they take the vote. You know it's going to be 51-48 or whatever, and you're just not used to campaigning. I don't know when the last time Bob Dole was, well, 1988 was the last time he was in a primary, but he's not used to campaigning. He's used to counting. So he comes up here, he's in a real campaign. And he's got people whacking away at him on both sides, and he acted offended for the first 10 days instead of, hey, let's level the playing field here. And he got caught. He got blindsided.
You know, we're not supporting any of them necessarily, but one of the things I don't think is helpful is for Charles and I saw somebody from the Dole campaign last night talking about Pat Buchanan being against exporting anything, which is not his position. I mean, he was on his program yesterday. He said what his position was. And it's not helpful for people like Judy Woodruff, who I like, but to get hysterical and get on CNN and misrepresent what he's talking about. I mean, I know that it doesn't fit their agenda, that Pat Buchanan might wind up, in the White House, but I mean, I think you got to at least be fair with all these folks.
Pat Buchanan's going south. He could run against the media down south and do very well. If we continue to do this, if we continue to misrepresent or get hysterical, at what he says or what we perceive he means, he could well win the South based on us. I mean, you got to listen to what you got to listen to the people the man is talking to, not necessarily what he's saying. The people who he's talking to are fearful of today and tomorrow. What's going to happen to their job, the company they work for? What happens to their health plan if they lose their job? How do they make their tuition payment if they lose their job? I mean, they're talking sewer city. I mean, a lot of people, there's no longer the economic security that we had when our parents were growing up. You worked at the post office or the phone company or the Edison or the city forever. You worked there forever. You never had to worry about it.
Who are you, Alan Keyes? God, take a breath.
Do I look like Alan Keyes?
By the way, the more I think about it, the more Alan Keyes annoys me. I mean, no, I'm serious. There's not a lot of national radio programs. Well, there's only one or two national radio programs that there's only one with the impact of this one, other than Rush, which is on some of the time of day. And so we put him on, and I mean, my brother's right. I'm not interested in being lectured to by some nitwit who doesn't want to have a conversation. The more I thought about it yesterday, the more it irritated me. I mean, you have to say this about Pat Buchanan. I ask him the questions, and he answers them. And for the most part, Bob Dole, you ask him a question, they answer the questions. And then I was not interested in this nitwit coming in and lecturing to me, and I don't feel well this morning, and I'm irritable.
Something different.
This could get very ugly before this is all over.
The more you think about Alan Keyes, the uglier it could become.
But it's very nice of all of you folks to show up, and, I do appreciate that. And the folks from 60 Minutes are still here. That'd be great. Remember years ago when Shelley Berman, I think it was 60 Minutes, cut Shelley Berman, remember the old comedian Shelley Berman?
Certainly, sure I do.
Yeah.
Ripped a phone out of the wall, so I'm sure they're going to catch me doing.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that I could do that anybody would be surprised at.
Are there any phone booths in the restaurant here?
A bathroom break.
All right, it's 32 after the hour. We'll talk with Mike Barnacles of the Boston Globe more, and also Tim Russert, who's been gracious. We ran into Mr. Russert yesterday over at the Holiday Inn here in Manchester, And some nut was sitting next to us. Remember that guy's name?
Milka, M-I-L-K-A.
Milko. Some real whack job who was running for president, he said.
Yes, he was.
And he had just by himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then here comes a guy, a little squirrely-looking dude, who looked like one of the people who was out of Oliver Stone's JFK film, you know.
Yeah.
One of the people who was plotting to assassinate JFK.
Mm-hmm.
Some weird little red-headed dude with a goatee and
beatnik-looking doofus.
Yeah, and they were sitting there at the table and they were talking. Well, first of all, the guy who was running for president, he was talking to no one. He was just talking.
He was bumming cigarettes from people walking by.
Yeah, and then and then starts talking to us, and and then here comes Russert, and he starts handing Russert campaign literature. But Tim was, I thought, more gracious than we were with the guy.
What a surprise!
I mean, Bernard threatened to punch him out, and so we. But anyway, so.
Did you have a cowboy hat on?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard that.
It's attractive.
Tim thought you were Festus in the Yellow Gunsmoke.
It's not just a cowboy hat. It's from the Man's Hat Shop in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Ooh, that's different.
Yeah.
The cowboy hat.
Yeah.
How about Buddy Ibsen looking for his teeth walking around?
Oh yeah, Imus in the morning.
Question. What's the most dramatic way to improve the sound of a home audio system? Dramatically toss it out the window and start from scratch. Or ask the experts at Radio Shack about new speakers. Nothing makes a bigger difference than the speakers. And now every speaker is on sale.
Okay.
For home, car, and home theater. Bookshelf, floor standing, and if you really want dramatic, the widely acclaimed Optimus speaker with a 360-degree dispersion tweeter. All speakers now on sale at Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
What are you doing?
New great-tasting orange-flavored Alka-Seltzer Plus. Refreshing new flavor. Same fast relief as original.
Didn't seem to inspire a lot of reaction.
Relieve your runny nose. Free your breathing. Alka-Seltzer Plus orange works
That's true.
the same.
That's true.
It's just orange.
Well, you could almost do
Nothing
that.
rushes relief like orange-flavored Alka-Seltzer Plus. Use only as directed.
Imus! It's me again on my cellular phone.
Yeah, that's
I'm at the Statue of Liberty, world's greatest symbol of freedom. Why? To show you the freedom you'll get with AT&T wireless services. See, if you sign up before March 31st, they'll give you 2 whole months of unlimited airtime in the home rate area absolutely free. Wow, it's unbelievable up here. I can see Brooklyn Heights, Jersey, the Arizona Bridge. And with this deal, I can call a whole lot farther than I can even see. And the airtime is free. Make as many calls as you like, talk as long as you like, any time of the day or night. Now that's a great reason to sign up. Airtime, it's unlimited, it's free, and it's only from AT&T wireless services. So call 1-800-IMAGINE today.
What do you do for a living? Go dressed up. Yeah.
Sure.
You're a lawyer, right?
Technology that sets you free. AT&T.
You told me that.
Airtime applies for the first and 13th months in the home
What
rate
are you?
area.
Yeah, that's right. I'll do the insurance agent.
It's not just another President's Day sale. It's the Chrysler and Plymouth Big Winter Clearance. The Buzzard of 96 left our dealers overstocked. This is the time you can get a great money-saving lease on an all-new Plymouth Voyager or Grand Voyager minivan. Right now, a new Plymouth Voyager is the lowest-priced minivan you can buy. This is the all-new Plymouth Voyager with more room, more safety features, more storage places, and more clip-by deals, like our hold just about anything cup holders and our easy on seats. That's a basic price comparison. Standard equipment levels vary. Don't miss the great values throughout the Chrysler and Plymouth minivan store. With the availability of built-in child safety seats and a second sliding door, our new minivans are more popular than ever. And this is the time to save. It's not just another President's Day sale. It's the big winter clearance at your Chrysler and Plymouth dealer. Don't let it pass you by.
Ask yourself a question. Are you doing better than your parents? Will your kids do better than you? It's the American dream, each generation doing better than the last one. Only today, don't bank on it. That's because we don't save enough. And because we don't save enough, we don't invest and build enough. And that deprives whoever comes next of the seed corn America needs to grow. I'm Jim, built by Bonds Leventhal, and I'm out to turn New York into a land of savers, and New Yorkers unspent incomes into sewers and subways, tunnels and waterworks, the nuts and bolts that make New York work. How? With the tax-free bonds I sell. Tax-free. That's your reward for building two futures, yours and New York's. Don't just dream the American dream, build it. Pick up the phone, call 212-425-6116, and ask for a free municipal bond information kit. And anything the kit doesn't tell you, we will. Funny, the little things you'll learn talking to a Leventhal broker. 425-6116.
And here now, Media Watch, pulling surgical glove over hand and index finger. The man who probes America's media force, veteran broadcast journalist Walter Cronkite.
And today's second-digit right hand once again finds itself inserted into the vetted dark recesses of my old alma mater, CBS News. And we discover there more evidence of chronic disease, the debilitating dilemma of discord. Now it's CBS correspondent Bernard Goldberg mowing down CBS correspondent Eric Engberg in a clash of journalistic Jews. Goldberg cites an Engberg report about Steve Forbes' flat tax as evidence of a pervasive liberal bias that he claims is endemic in network television news. Well, speaking as a party of one, this old flaky-skinned, deeply furrowed, antiquated news virtuoso says Goldberg's views can be dismissed as those of a bug-eyed, carping, typical die-hard reactionary crackpot who's a legal heir to George Wallace and Jesse Helms. How dare Goldberg suggest that the fabled news division of Dan Brunner, of Ed Bradley, Mike Wallace, Leslie Stahl, Don Hewitt, Harry Reasoner, Fred Friendly, Charles Carrollton Osgood, Ann Taylor Fleming, John Leonard, and Nut in the Overalls, how dare he suggest that some liberal bias or attitude of superiority could exist in such a group? It would be just as nonsensical to suggest a liberal bias exists at newspapers led over by Arthur Oak Salzberger, Howell Raines, and Frank Rich, or Catherine Graham, Ben Bradley, and Meg Greenfield. Preposterous. CBS News President Andrew Hayward was deeply wounded by Goldberg's insensitive, bizarre conclusions and openly wept. Dan Rather, lower lip trembling, said he was so upset he didn't know whether he'd be able to pursue his next 48 Hours episode, celebrating the National Organization for Women, part one of a 155 segments plan. A CBS liberal prejudice, obviously the overall trappings of a dangerous extremist, and seen an ideological fog. I'm personally just thankful that our popular, thoughtful, and Christ-like president, Bill Clinton, seeks to expand our nation's health care structure to cover an ever-widening expanse of ills, real and imagined, as clearly correspondent Goldberg needs therapy, and yes, maybe just a hug. Program reminder as I conclude. Tonight, CBS Eye on America, the North American Man-Boy Love Association, NAMLA, Benevolent Perversion, and CBS correspondent Bob Simon. For Media Watch, this is Walter Cronkite, also available at www.netnews.fatuousthink.com. Thank you, and good night.
Here from ABC News, and this Brinkley Cokie Roberts. Good morning, Miss Roberts.
I must admit that I forgot we had this date this morning, so I'm just barely awake. I have to tell you this town went a little crazy with all of this sex stuff with the Hillary Clinton business. I mean, my reaction to this, I have to tell you, was, if you can't take the heat, go back to the kitchen.
Your radio sounds funny in the morning. You're listening to Imus in the morning.
It looked to me, being a runner, it looked to me...
You're a runner?
Yeah.
See, this proves my point about running.
Why?
Well, I mean... You know, you're fun to listen to, but look at you.
What do you mean, look at me?
I have yet to meet a runner who really looks great.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
What did these last time?
Let me guess, Penn Station.
Penn Station.
Ha! I figured. Here's a lady who's got a car in the burbs and her heart set on hitting the slopes. Pretty amazing, huh? Hey, you drive the cab as long as I do. You notice little things, like, for instance, I see you carrying skis.
Well, what is he, I mean, how's that helpful?
It's not, but I think if he goes at he's taking a chance at 1 o'clock and going to Detroit that he may not get there. Yeah. I mean, you know what? It's okay with me if it's okay with you.
Yeah, well, who's going to do
He'll tape the 8 and the 9. He'll do the 720.
Oh, okay.
I like the song.
Ski Wyndham.
Ski Wyndham is 95% of the mountain open in midwinter conditions. Ski on non-holiday weekends for only $31, including Tuesday through Friday and President's Week, February 20th through the 23rd. Call 800 Ski Wyndham. That's 800 Ski Wyndham.
Hi, honey. How are you? I'm all right. On your TV. Okay.
Excellent.
Kill O'Brien.
O'Brien, that's the O'Brien's nightmare phone.
Any water or anything?
Yeah. Did you shrug the jaw a little?
Yeah, I did. What?
Everybody's holding up that picture of Brian so he can be on the program. That's pretty funny.
Can you do a plug for Aurora Pen? They're on. Apparently, they spent a lot of money to sponsor the remote. They got a plug every hour, and I called and said, yes, they spent a ton of money for this. And I don't know if you want to mention this affiliate from Maine that's on too.
Are they on now?
Yeah, they signed on Monday.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. So their first show was the best of.
Bangor, Maine. Didn't Lefty Frizzell sing about Bangor, Maine or something?
I don't know.
Saginaw, Michigan, but there's some Bangor, Maine rings a bell for some reason.
Lefty Frizzell?
Sounds like something Roger Miller would have sang.
Kinky Friedman, or it's either Roger Miller, Kinky Friedman, or Lefty Frizzell, one of them. Where are we here? Hey, stupid. Where are we?
This is the last spot. Eileen is next. We have 9 minutes free in the hour.
Then you have to make up these live ones in the last. Your Aurora Pen is under the thing.
Front guy ran at 6:37.
All right.
Doggy spray.
Somebody jumped up on stage with Michael Jackson and just beat up his kids.
That's great. I love that.
That's just wonderful.
We got a couple kids coming in.
Did they kill some guy last night? Capital punishment in down south.
In the chair?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
By injection last
I have to look.
By injection. And the guy was upset at the
Beautiful.
system.
All right, here now the Bell Atlantic 9 Mobile Fan Highway Patrol and Eileen Marchese Cohen, who is in New York City. Good morning, Eileen.
Good morning, Imus. It's 48 degrees and raining. Sporadic rain and fog today with highs in the mid-50s. And we do have trouble in Queens on the Grand Central Westbound. A stalled vehicle blocks the lane right at 94th Street. In the Bronx, some trouble spots on the southbound Major and Deacon bumper to bumper approaching the Triborough Bridge. Disabled tractor trailer in the lane there. And westbound across Bronx, crews on the scene of the oil spill from an earlier accident at Jerome Avenue, and everybody's slowing down there. We have dense fog reported, especially in Essex County, New Jersey, on Route 280. Also at the Tappan Zee Bridge, speeds are reduced 45 miles an hour because of the weather. And this report sponsored by the New York Times. In the money and business section of Sunday's New York Times, you'll find a special report called Your Taxes. It just might make filling out your return a lot less taxing. I'm Eileen Marchese Cohen for the Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile Fan Highway Patrol.
Hi, I'm Imus. Good morning. It's 13 minutes till the hour, and we are in Manchester, New Hampshire. It's a high-five restaurant. For Q106, Mix 97, no, Mix 96.7. We'll move it around. There's somewhere there. No. I-93 and I-107, and we went on in Bangor, Maine. Another big...
All right.
Well,
there you go.
In Bangor, Maine on Monday.
Sounds like Bill Clinton's town, Bangor.
That's just ridiculous. Why do we have to have that?
You know, I don't need you disparaging my president on this program. Magic 95.7, which is they play oldies. It's WWMJ in Bangor, Maine, and either Kinky Friedman, Roger Miller, or Lefty Frizzell wrote something about Bangor, Maine at one point, but it's not important now, obviously.
Wasn't them either.
The Imus of the Morning, this hideous tour that we're on, where we pledged to go to, well, we were going to go to every affiliate that we were on when we only had around 6, you know, because we thought, how hard is this going to be? Now it's getting up around 100, and, you know, you have to go someplace every 20 minutes. And it says, but this has been, actually, this has been fun.
This one is great. Yeah.
This is sponsored by Aurora Pens, and I have one of them in my hand here. They're great. Well, it's the pen. I used to write with a Mont Blanc, but writing with a Mont Blanc is like writing with a nail. And, you know, I mean... So Aurora Pens, you can get one of them by going to the pen store. Call the Fountain Pen Hospital, 1-800-253-PENS, P-E-N-S. Well, it's, an event you just got up. The Snoop Doggy Dogg beat the rap yesterday.
Yes, he did.
Great.
And
Sort of.
And Tupac was on Saturday Night Live last Saturday night screaming about that there wasn't any justice for Snoop, there wasn't any justice for anybody. And I find myself... pumping my fist and saying, right on, Tupac, my man, my homeboy.
Millionaire dirtbags beating raps like this, and then they have attitudes.
So anyway...
hey, Doggy Dog, sniff this, you slime bag.
That'll be fine. Hey. Nobody called on you for any sort of editorial here.
Maybe for the grace of God, he'd be eating monkey carcasses back in Africa. Oh, man. He should kiss the ground he walks on over here.
Anyway... Snoop got off, and so what was it? A drive-by shooting. Snoop was driving a car, right?
Yes, he was the driver.
Some other guy pulled the trigger, and did they kill this other gang member?
Yes, they did. As a matter of fact, it was a murder case.
Well, that's unfortunate.
But they're deadlocked on whether voluntary manslaughter should be considered. They were acquitted of murder charges. Voluntary manslaughter has yet to be adjudicated, as it were.
So Snoop got off, and Pat Buchanan wins the New Hampshire primary.
Precisely.
Now there's a correlation there somewhere.
That's right.
So, what that all means, but you know, I got a letter here from somebody, obviously, from the Time Machine, which is this magazine that the New American it's a New American History magazine that the Smithsonian is publishing, and they have these 3 kids they sent to New Hampshire. 2 of them are from New York, and 1 is from New Hampshire, and they're 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. 8th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grader.
Easy.
And they are reporting on the New Hampshire primary.
Yeah, good.
And whoever, the editor-in-chief of this Time Machine, wrote me a letter and said, would you like to have them on? And I said, why not? And they'll fare better than the kids did at the Michael Jackson concert. What happened there?
Well, that was ridiculous.
We're not going to beat them up when they get in.
Read the story. A relatively obscure British pop singer, I-Man, from a band called Pulp, jumped up on a London stage last night during the British Music Awards in the middle of a Michael Jackson performance and beat up 3 of the children performing with Michael Jackson.
It was a warm-up. That'll teach him.
I don't know.
Stay away from pedophiles.
Jackson, focused on performing his hit Earth song, was oblivious to what Jarvis Cocker was doing. Afterwards, he issued a statement calling Cocker disgusting and cowardly and said he was sickened, saddened, shocked, upset, cheated, and angry about the incident. Cocker is no relation to singer Joe Cocker, we're assured. But some goon jumped up on the stage and started beating up the kids working with Michael. We don't need that, do we?
No, well, how long did this go on? It couldn't.
I don't know. We are efforting further details, as they say, but I don't know.
Michael was there grabbing his crotch or whatever he does now.
Eat me!
Yeah. And they were beating the children.
And some guy was beating
Somebody
the kids.
was actually beating the kids.
Exactly.
So,
I don't know.
It's 9 minutes now until the hour here in the Imus Morning program. Coming up, these children from the Time from the Time Machine, right?
Yeah, it's sponsored by the Smithsonian, where they make Davy Crockett a Nazi cross-dresser, for crying out loud.
That would be fine. What's happened to you this morning? God, shut up.
The Smithsonian.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Jesus, just relax.
George Washington was a wife-beater, you know. They barely mentioned World War II or something like that.
No, we were wrong.
We were wrong.
You know what the problem is? Here's the only thing. I mean, it doesn't make any difference to us who wins these various elections, for the most part. But the problem is that people like Bernard essentially are the people who support Pat Buchanan. So, I mean, that's the...
I'm a dull guy.
Well, It's a reason, and that's another thing. I mean, I have a feeling that Senator Dole does not want your support. I know I wouldn't, so. Anyway, we'll talk with Mike Barnacle a little bit more and do some other stuff coming up.
On July the 2nd, 1953, I was serving time for armed robbery. At 4 o'clock in the morning, I was sleeping in my cell. I heard a whistle blow, then I heard somebody yell.
Imus in the morning.
All right, let me talk to you about the Wave Radio from Bose. Perhaps you've seen the television ads. It's a really sort of a high-tech looking radio. It's about that size, something like that. But 12, realize you're listening to the radio, but yeah. But Dr. Bose designed this thing so that it's the only radio that you can put on a table that I've ever seen where it'll kick a bunch of bass heads. I mean, the sound is unbelievable. It sounds like a full-blown audio system. In fact, in their television commercials, they morphed this thing into an audio system. And so if you'd like to get one of them, call the Bose people at 1-800-838-BOSE. It was voted it was named the best new product of the year by Business Week magazine. And if you're thinking, well, why would I want this? Well, you call them and find out about it because you'll be surprised. 1-800-838-BOSE. The Meadowlands Racetrack is having a carnival, all carnivals on Saturday, February 24th. Starting at 6 p.m., you and your entire family can enjoy horse-drawn wagon rides, snowboard simulators, fun carnival games, and an ice carving exhibition. I don't know. For folks, there's a Trump Plaza package available. Get out of Atlantic City and do that thing. Marriott Vacation Club International at Continental Airlines, they're involved in all this. And of course, some of the world's great harness racing will be taking place, and parking is free. So. The Meadowlands Racetrack Winter Carnival starts Saturday, February 24th at 6 p.m. You can call 201, the Big M, for more information about all this. You have to be 21 to get in on it, but they no purchase necessary, you know what I'm saying?
We became lovers. Our love was so pretty. Our lips became pouty. I had 100% satisfaction in your life.
Yeah, I'm gonna show the text.
Return on Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern on AMC on the Arcade Movie Classics.
2:47 left before the top of the hour.
I'll talk to Mike. God damn.
Charles.
Did you drive up to... Very nice of you.
My pleasure. Nice drive this morning.
Oh, the fog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna show him the text.
That's really sad with O'Brien, isn't it? Huh?
Coming up. What's the other?
Hi, I'm Imus in the morning, and it is 3 minutes till the hour, and we are in Manchester, New Hampshire, at the High Five Restaurant, which is... But there's rain and fog. We're 17 floors up, and it's a place all glass enclosed, and it's It can be a beautiful restaurant.
Certainly.
Look out at Manchester, but when it's foggy, you're just looking at nothing.
That's right. Great out.
When you get Pat O'Brien, we've been through this morning. This is really sad. Pat O'Brien from CBS Sports FedExed all of these pictures to Barnacle so that we would hold them up on C-SPAN.
It's pitiful.
Now, you know...
About 10 years ago, this picture was taken, too.
Yeah.
This is a prom picture, yeah.
It was found in Michael Jackson's home.
And you just have to ask yourself, well, I don't know. I guess if you work for CBS Sports...
This is a big shot.
More sports fans, in fact. More sports fans are going to see you on C-SPAN than on CBS. It's that kind of deal. But, I mean, that's really sad.
Yeah.
Well, I asked him what he did. He was on a couple of weeks ago. I said, what do you do? You know, how would you describe your career?
Dances with Dick Button.
No, he said, I'm the host of March Madness. You know, the NCAA basketball tournament that's on CBS Sports every year for like 3 weeks.
Has he seen the phone? Has he seen your phone? He'll be watching.
Man, how great is that?
I mean,
he has seen
Die,
it.
Pat, die. Die, Pat, die. Look at that phone.
Is this a great phone? It's from Motorola?
I mean, Pat O'Brien's phone compared to that would look like a 1952 DeSoto.
Yeah.
And he can't stand it.
No, he hates it.
He can't stand it.
We're into who has the smallest things, except...
Flaccid.
So,
got that gooseneck device going.
Well, the best thing that could have happened for us, and I'm sure for a lot of people, particularly and then journalists as well, and people in the news business and so on, is what happened yesterday in the New Hampshire primary. I know it wasn't a pleasant experience for Bob Dole, but obviously it was for Pat Buchanan. And I don't know how that goober Lamar Alexander figures that it's. Well, I guess I shouldn't hate people, should I? Remember I was talking to the priest and rabbi, and they said, you know, you really should.
Right.
Well, the priest said I shouldn't hate people. The rabbi said I should hate people, but I should selectively hate them and in concert with God's wishes.
Precisely.
So, but...
that your hate was too broad.
But I just think Lamar Alexander's is a phony. So anyway. I am Imus in the morning, and this is WFAN in New York. It's an Infinity Broadcasting station. It's time for the local news, and we'll get to the national news in just a couple of minutes. But with the local stuff, here's Charles McCoy. Good morning, Charles.
Good morning, I-Man. 48 degrees right now. The Imus weather for New York. Occasional rain drizzle. The high today 55. Foggy tonight. Chance of light rain. The low 45 and cloudy with a chance of rain tomorrow. High again in the mid-50s, and it stays in the mid-50s on Friday. Partly cloudy Friday. The high 55. In the headlines, Pat Buchanan wins the upset in New Hampshire. 27% of the vote. Bob Dole 26%. Lamar Alexander 23%. Steve Forbes well back. 12%, but says he is in the GOP race for the duration. Nevertheless, the next primary test coming up. Two small-town Arkansas bankers who played a major role in financing Bill Clinton's 1990 race for governor have been indicted on bank fraud and conspiracy charges. No. And the lawyer for one of these guys calls his client, quote, a pawn in a high-stakes chess game, the result of which may very likely determine the next president of the United States.
Oh, here we go again.
End quote.
Quoting some goober who's got an axe to grind trying to cut himself some slack and get out of having to do some prison time.
Why is this quoting some goober?
Because. You and Bernard complain about Judy Woodruff and George Will and Sam Donaldson with their agenda, and you two are far worse than they are.
We're upfront about it, though.
Hammering my president.
I have no agenda. Hammering the president of the United States is just the thing to do. It's not an agenda.
Oh, okay.
Another bizarre legacy of disgraced former Oregon Senator Bob Packwood. His successor, Ron Wyden, says he found that Packwood put all the lights in his suite of offices in the Russell building on dimmer switches, as though he might find it necessary, quote, according to Wyden, to set a mood for some reason or other.
Who's this now?
This is what Ron Wyden found when he got to the Russell office building in Washington. When he got into Bob Packwood's offices, he found all the lights throughout the place had been set, put on dimmer switches so that he could establish a mood if necessary.
The Imus in the Morning Business Report is sponsored by the... is he out of there yet, by the way? Has he gone back to Oregon?
I think he is gone.
Feeling his way home.
Yes. The Imus and Morning Business Report is brought to you by the New York Stock Exchange. Today at the New York Stock Exchange, Ashanti Goldfields of Ghana will become the first operating company from Africa to list on the New York Stock Exchange. Well, congratulations to those fine folks.
All right.
Well, our business report today, which I've obviously not prepared because I just didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
But it's we'll focus on this very fine restaurant where we're broadcasting from and have been for the past couple of days in Manchester, New Hampshire, the High Five. And I regret having suggested that this guy was about to go Chapter 11. He's not. Yeah. It's a very successful, very attractive restaurant that
classy.
Is that is on the top of the 17th floor, top of this building in Manchester. You can look out all over New Hampshire, and so if
and see the closed factories.
And he'd like to sell it if somebody would be interested in it. He has two restaurants. He has this one, and then he has well, I don't know.
Spends a lot on advertising, I can see.
And then he has a place called the Stark Mill Brewery. No, the Stark Mill Brewery restaurant where, I don't know, he seems like a nice guy. I just, obviously I'm sick and I don't care. So,
look good, though.
This is just,
yes, you do.
I just sound like, you know, poor old Senator Dole trying to answer a question, just kind of trailing off. All right, this thing's sponsored by the New York Stock Exchange. It is 4 after the hour.
Before there was an information highway, CA technology was
He sent that over last.
Yeah. Okay, you got to stop leaning on the microphone. It's ridiculous. How many times to tell you? It just overmodulates.
3 mics here. Yeah, I got it. We'll have to bring it
The Technology Exchange is the most advanced trading system anywhere, with the capacity to handle 2 billion shares a day right now. There are 3 pitches.
I asked them, they'll put a third mic over here.
Yeah, they can stand up there, one of them. Where's Barnacles? Barnacles not leaving, is he?
I don't think so. But you want to have the 1, 2, 3 kids like this?
Bernard, don't make any remarks to these kids about, you know. I mean, get into, you know, penis jokes or.
They're there. You want them to come up now?
Yeah.
How you doing? We need one of you to stand and have a mic over here. What's the other? Want to share a chair?
Hey. Hi. How you doing, kid? What's your name?
Sam.
Want to wear some headphones?
Okay.
Coming up.
Now I'm going to turn these mics on. You need to get reasonably close to the
I am Imus in the morning, and it is 6 minutes after the hour. And some of these your kids? Oh, well, of course I'm going to be nice to these kids. What's the matter with you? It's not a Michael Jackson concert where somebody's going to jump on stage and beat him up. Anyway, we'll talk to these 3 young children, young folks, in a minute. But it's time for the national news, and we'll get to that now with Charles McCord. The Barnacle didn't leave, did he?
Oh, no, there's free food still here. He's not going anywhere.
There's a bar over there, so he couldn't have gone far.
All right, here with the national news now. Are this too loud for you, Sam?
It's fine.
Huh?
It's fine.
You don't want to wear them, or?
No.
How about no, sir?
You want a beer or something? Guess not, right? We'll get to you in a minute. You just hang chilly. All right, what's going on, Chuck?
The very latest thing from the race eye man, the Republican presidential field is down to 7 because Bob Dornan says New Hampshire was the last stop in his quest for the White House, and we have information just in that Mr. Dornan is calling it quits.
Well, yeah. In the lineup of people who got votes, Other got more than he did.
Precisely. He lost to Other.
I mean, if you lose to Other, That's pretty much you got to say, well, I'm out of here. So.
Yeah, so he is. He says he now realizes he has little chance of winning the Republican nomination, which is pretty prescient of the man when you think about it.
Yeah.
The third time proved to be the third loss for Bob Dole in New Hampshire yesterday. Dole losing in 1980, 1988, and now 1996. Conservative columnist Pat Buchanan winning the primary in a squeaker yesterday. Mr. Buchanan winding up with 27% of the vote, beating Dole by 1 percentage point. Former Tennessee Governor Lamar Alexander in a close third at 23%. Steve Forbes distant fourth, 12%. People in New Hampshire say the negative campaign advertising did him in. Buchanan says this is just the beginning on a road that will lead him directly to the White House.
We are taking back our party. We're on the verge of taking it back as prelude to taking back our country, as prelude to taking back the destiny of America. And when we get there, my friends, we will only be obedient to one sovereign America, and that is the sovereign of God himself and his law.
Senate Majority Leader Bob Dole called it a setback, certainly, but says he will go on.
Everybody who knows Bob Dole knows that things haven't come easy for me, but we're not going to give up. So we're going to see you tomorrow in North Dakota and South Dakota, then in Arizona, then in Oregon, then in South Carolina, all over America. We're going to carry our message for a better America.
Former Tennessee Governor Lamar Alexander says the race, in his view, is now a two-man contest, and Bob Dole is not in it.
I believe that Senator Dole now, after Iowa, and after...
I realize I'm not being fair to Governor Alexander, but I don't care. Sue me. So I'm just tired, yes. Tired of him. What message does he have? He has no new, what new ideas? We're gonna, a new branch of the armed forces to keep the Mexicans from coming across the border to Mexico. That's his new idea?
It's a start.
That resonates.
Yeah, there you go.
Man, I mean, what a nitwit. Anyway, here now from the time machine are Sam Ehrlich. Is that the way you pronounce your last name? If I get this wrong, I didn't go to college, so which is another reason you guys should go. And Margaret Tarbill, is that right?
Yep.
Okay. And Asia Thompson-Jones? Yeah. How are you guys?
I'm good.
Thank you all very much for coming. Sam, tell me why you're up here and what you're doing.
Well, we're up here. We're just kind of covering the election for the magazine.
Now, which magazine? Yeah, talk just a little bit louder.
It's Time Machine.
The Time Machine, that's part of the Smithsonian deal?
Yeah.
How'd you get involved in that?
Well, my mom's the editor-in-chief, so.
Like Chris Wallace.
I don't think we have to disparage Chris Wallace or Mike Wallace, do you? So.
I see a parallel.
And Margaret, how'd you get involved?
Well, my sister is the manager.
Okay, Asia, how did you get involved?
Well, Sam's mother was on my trip, and she was talking to my teacher, and my mother was also there, so three of them were talking, and my teacher told Sam's mother that I would be the right person for that part. So that's how I got.
Great. Well, you know, you got to get involved some way, right? Absolutely. So, do you guys all have an interest in becoming reporters, or?
No, I don't.
No.
They've seen what goes on.
Did you interview? Well, let me. Sam, did you interview any of the candidates?
All of them.
You interviewed all of them?
Most. Well, I got questions. I got quotes from all of them. I didn't get to talk to them all.
Why don't you talk right into the microphone, bro? Because we just can't hear you.
Sorry, I didn't get to talk to all of them, but I privately. But I got quotes from all of them.
You did. Who did you interview? Who did you interview?
Maury Taylor, and I got to talk.
What'd you think of Maury Taylor?
He was really funny. He's a very nice guy.
Seemed like a goofball, isn't he? But he was nice?
Yeah, he was nice.
Was he drunk when you talked to him?
Why is that? Sounded like it.
And Margaret, did you talk to any of them?
Yeah, they talked to
Did you? I didn't mean. Did you guys all go as a group and?
Yeah.
Oh, you did. Okay. Who else you talked to besides Maury?
Talked to Luger and Alan Keyes and Steve Forbes and...
What'd you think of Steve Forbes?
He's nice, but
Is he?
I don't know.
Yeah.
A little strange, isn't he?
A little bit.
But he was nice, right?
Yeah.
He's nice to you guys? And well, of course they're going to be nice to you, I think.
Yeah.
And Asia, who impressed you the most of the candidates you did talk to? Asia?
I don't know. I think they all was nice to us.
They all were?
Yeah.
Did you get the chance to talk to Mr. Buchanan?
No. Sam did, though.
What did you think of did he scare you, Sam?
I really don't like him. I mean, he tries to avoid the press whenever he can, and I mean, he's a racist.
That's a pretty strong charge to make. Well, this your guys' experience or not. But when I asked him a question, he actually answered it, you know, as opposed to some of the other ones who, like Alan Keyes, I would ask him a question, he'd make a speech, you know. Just not interested in all that. But, how did you get to, belabor this, but what gave you the sense that Pat Buchanan was a racist? Did somebody tell you that, or did you just sense that?
Our photographer, Britton, gave me this paper, and I had a whole bunch of, like, little quotes from him and little newspaper clips, and, you know, just gave every quote there was, like, just gave evidence that he was anti-Semitic. And
not something your crazy mother from the Smithsonian told you, is it? Did you guys talk to Bob Dole?
Last night, yeah.
Oh, you did?
We were, his Secret Service sort of pushed me away. Yeah,
Yeah, you look really dangerous. I can see why they do that.
It's just a soldier.
Yeah.
We were like right...
Don't pay attention to him, Ace. He's an idiot. Just press it. Anyway, you were trying to... What did you just... Did you... Well, go ahead and tell me what happened.
Well, I was, me and Margaret, we were right next to each other, and Bob Dole was right across from us, and we were just about to go ask him a question, but then his Secret Service, like, told me it was like an aisle. He told me to move to the end of the aisle and stay there. And then, so I did it. And so then Margaret and Sam had already got his quote. And then Margaret was still up there. And then he started to come down the aisle. And everybody started to push and everything. And so then Margaret got pushed to the side, and I got pushed to the side. And Lord knows where Sam was.
Well, so this was like the Michael Jackson concert. You guys are trying to talk to Bob Dole, and the Secret Service beat the hell out of you. That's what it sounds like to me, doesn't it? Can you guys hang out a minute?
Okay.
Okay, it's a quarter after the hour here in the Imus morning program. All right, let me talk to you about the Global Western Boot World. They're making me a pair of brown kangaroo Lucchese cowboy boots. Now, we're not going to go murder the kangaroo in order to make me a pair of cowboy boots. We're going to wait till we're going to follow the kangaroo back to wherever the kangaroos go when they die. And then when the kangaroo dies of natural causes, you know, we're going to try to save the kangaroo. And we're going to give the kangaroo mouth to mouth, you know, whatever it takes. But if we can't save the kangaroo,
You gotta skin it.
then we're going to skin it, make me boots.
Yeah.
And you can get a pair like I have, or you can go to the Globe Western Boot Place. They're on Route 17 in Paramus, New Jersey. One of the best cowboy boot places in America. You wouldn't think that, you know, that you would have a great cowboy boot place in New Jersey. But I've been to them all in El Paso, Texas, and in Dallas and Phoenix, Arizona, and a bunch of these places where they have great cowboy boot places. But the Globe Western Boot World, there on Route 17 in Paramus, New Jersey, is the even better than some of them in New York City. So When you're thinking about cowboy boots, check Route 17, Globe Western Boot World out there in Paramus, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 201-845-3035. All right, let me talk to you just for another minute here about LoJack. LoJack is, in the event you haven't heard of it, it's this little device that it's a little hidden microchip thing that you can stick in your car. And then if somebody steals your car, the police have a way to activate a tracking system to home in on your car and stop tapping on the table, Sam, would you please? and then you can get your car back. So isn't that a pretty good deal? In metropolitan New York City, New Jersey, and Connecticut, there you can protect your car with LoJack, the stolen vehicle recovery system. After your car is reported stolen to the police, a LoJack transmitter that's secretly hidden in your car will be turned on. LoJack helps police track and locate your car, often before it suffers serious damage. So get the best protection against the high cost of auto theft with LoJack, the stolen vehicle recovery system. The cost, $595 complete with no artificial charges. In other words, it's not some rip-off deal, or they're going to bait and switch you or try to get you to spend thousands of dollars. It costs $595, and it's, believe me, it's well worth it. I have it in my new Grand Cherokee. Chuck has it in his car. Les has it in his car down in Florida, so, and you should get it in your car. Here's a number to call, 1-800-95-LO-JACK. Can I get some more coffee, Mark? Just, please. 1-800-95-LO-JACK. It's coming up on 19 after the hour. You guys are great. Funny. Terrific. We'll talk some more about what you're going to do, when you go back home. What you do? I can't hear you. Oh, you did?
She lives here.
Oh, and then you guys are from New York, right?
Yeah.
You want to talk to them out of sports?
Where'd you stay?
In house.
We did. Was that fun? Or? Did you watch all the returns last night? Did you watch the returns last night?
Some of them.
It's kind of exciting, wasn't it?
A little bit. We were supposed to be on CBS, but because the returns were, they just cut us. We were supposed to have a little bit, like a 2-minute spot on CBS, but we didn't get to.
Nobody watches CBS anymore. 10 million people listen to this program all over the country.
Wait,
10
million?
Yeah, we're out all over America. Thanks.
How about you? Coffee?
When you get it. Don't make yourself.
Have you ever heard of this program?
Yeah.
Man, your mom listens?
No, just like, I heard my dad talking about it.
How old are you?
13.
Sports is next.
You're a racist goon. You're a racist.
The hands of stone does it again. Good morning. Mike Braid with sports. Last night in Miami, Roberto Duran chalked up his 97th career pro win. The 61-year-old Duran beat Ray Domage with a unanimous decision. Duran looked sharp. His jab was hard. His uppercut strong. His bra tight around his sagging breast. Duran hoping for a bout with Hector Macho Camacho before he retires for the 17th time. From the NBA last night, John Stockton becomes the league's all-time assist leader as Houston downs Boston. In New York, the Knicks, America's team, beaten by the Milwaukee Bucks 92-87. I beg your pardon?
Just please continue.
Coach Don Nelson knew what the problem was.
Just really had a hard time, putting the ball in the basket again.
That tends to hurt one's chances of winning a basketball game. But despite the struggles, the Knicks fans tried hard to root their team on, especially in the fourth quarter with this chant for Patrick Ewing. It was really something to see the Garden crowd embracing their leader, Patrick Ewing.
You really are just a nitwit.
NFL news, Deion Sanders announcing yesterday no baseball in 1996. Just the Cowboys who play only NFL football, and that made Dallas owner Jerry Jones quite happy.
It's kind of like a little boy when you're asked what you want for Christmas. You want it so bad you can't say it real good, and you're a little bashful about saying it.
I'm not bashful about saying this. Shut up, you jerk.
You know what's really frightening about America? Somebody who talks like that can make $100 million and own the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, it's just for several $100 million.
Tell you what's frightening is my TV screen right now. Hey, it was great of you to get Louis Anderson to show up. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Barnacle. By the way, the only reason Deion Sanders is not playing baseball is because no one made him a contract offer.
Thought he said he wanted to spend more time with his wife and kids and all that.
Of course, that's what he said.
Yeah,
Get his GED.
Well, that's sports. I'm Mike Green.
It's 23 after the hour, and I am Imus. Morning. We're talking with Sam Ehrlich, Margaret Tarble, and Asia Thompson-Jones. These are three folks who are writing articles. Is that what you guys are going to do, write articles? Yeah. Or a article? You got to talk a little louder into the microphone. Please don't get me irritated here. Oh, you got to turn it on first. Yeah, good point.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good.
There you are.
Yeah, we're gonna, after we finished asking our questions to the candidates, so now we're gonna have to like write some stuff.
Okay, well, this is the magazine is called
Time Machine.
and it's part of the American History magazine for kids, right?
It is the American
Oh, it
History
is?
for kids.
I don't think snapping at me is
Go to your room.
just because I'm some old guy who doesn't get it, you know. And it's but this is all sponsored by the Smithsonian Institution, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we were talking before about, well, when we last left this conversation, you were all getting beat up by the Secret Service as you were trying to talk to Senator Bob Dole. So, did you ever actually get to talk to Asia? Did you ever get to talk to Senator Dole?
No,
Did you get a quote from him at all?
no.
Or you didn't get any kind of quote from him? Because he's actually a pretty nice guy, you know. So I'm sort of surprised. And you hadn't made any arrangements, or well, no.
Absolutely.
Don, we didn't make any arrangements. You know, we got beat up by the Secret Service. We didn't get a quote. Shut up about it.
Go on to the next one.
Yeah. Did you talk with? Well, you mentioned you talked with Steve Forbes. Sam? What quote did you get from Pat Buchanan? I know you think he's a racist and all that, but.
Well, it was very simple. I asked him, do you think New Hampshire should continue to hold the nation's first primary election? And he said, yes, I think New Hampshire should continue to hold the nation's first primary election. And then he just walked off.
I did.
Yeah, they pushed him away. They kept him moving.
It's not my job to defend Pat Buchanan, believe me, and I probably will wind up. I don't know who I'll vote for. It doesn't make any difference who I vote for, but he's probably not a racist. I mean, maybe you ought to check that out. But,
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I think that maybe a little. Wouldn't you think that'd be a little?
I would think it's a little bit.
But he said, you know what he does? He says things that scare people. You know, does he scare you guys?
Yeah.
Did you? What did you? And where did you stay here? Up here?
Stayed at my house.
Oh, you stayed at your house?
Yeah.
That must have been kind of fun, huh?
Yeah, it was cool.
Did you watch the returns and stuff last night?
Some of them.
Yeah.
Which channel did you watch?
CBS.
Oh, you didn't? Is that what? That's Channel 4, right?
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Is here.
Okay.
Don't snap at the children, I mean.
I watched Channel 9. You know who's a creep? Carl
Cameron. Snotty jerk.
What a pretentious geek he is. Huh? Thinks he's some kind of power broker.
Every 4 years.
Yeah.
Whoopee.
So now you two will you write separate articles for the magazine, or?
Yeah.
Separate.
Oh, you will?
Separate, yeah. Okay.
And so, Asia, what do you think you're going to write about? What's your article essentially going to say?
I don't know. I'm gonna write about how I thought the candidates were like, whether they're nice, whether they're mean, like how they were, and.
Well, how were they?
They were all nice.
They were, even though you got shoved around by the Secret Service.
I think they all were nice to us, and We sort of got into whether they have soft hands or hard hands when we shake their hands. Yeah, because, yeah, and because a lot of them are so short. Like George Stephanopoulos, he's really short.
He's cute, though, don't you think George Stephanopoulos is cute?
And Clinton was really tall, taller than I imagined.
We didn't meet him, though. We just saw him.
Or you didn't meet the president?
No.
No.
Maybe
5
when
more
he get-
years.
Maybe get a little older, he'll, well, no.
Forget it. Just stop right now.
How was,
Just stop.
well, maybe, you know, how was George Stephanopoulos?
He was nice.
He was a nice guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
We don't know him either. I think did we ever meet him?
Yeah, we met him.
I guess we did meet him.
Very briefly.
He seems like he's very cute, I think. He's a very hunky little guy.
That's the best of his thing.
What kind of handshake did he have?
He had a soft handshake.
He did.
No way.
Say, that's not a good sign. There you go. Who had a really firm handshake?
Luger.
Luger?
Hillary. Right.
How you doing, kids?
You are not helpful here. Well, so you guys are going back, you live here, Marcus, you live here in New Hampshire, right? You live in Manchester?
No, I live in Concord.
Concord? Okay. And so you guys live in New York, right? Alex?
Yeah.
And you're going back today?
Yeah.
Well, you guys are delightful kids, and good luck with you. Is there any possible way, you ever use one of your moms here with you or something? Just send me this article when you guys write it. You're writing 3 individual articles, right?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting.
A whole bunch of photos and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You guys took the pictures yourself?
No, that's a photographer Britain over there.
Hey.
Oh, so you got it all. So you've got it all covered, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you 3 were very delightful young folks, and thanks very much. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Sam Elliott, Margaret Carville, and Aja Thompson-Jones here on the Imus in the Morning program. It's 29 after the hour.
So today, whether you like it or
You guys are great. That's fun. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
the idea through me, he didn't bring it through me because my heart was dark with hatred and anti-Semitism. He didn't bring it through me because my heart was dark and I'm filled with hatred for white people and for the human family of the
Bernie.
Sure.
Because it says, and actually, what if you change by special? So it's really questionable, but I guess it appears to be I would do it. I mean, who knew it was going to win? If he hadn't won. Oh, yeah. Here he comes.
You want to talk out of Nixon here? Yeah, he wants to talk. Coming up.
I'll tell you what. Come inside. Leave him right over there. I'll get to it. Okay? I'll get it. That was good.
Because of a kid, huh?
Yeah, that was good. Here we go.
Dick Nixon here on the Imus program. It is 36 minutes past the hour here in the Imus Morning program. They're cute kids, aren't they?
They were absolutely charming.
They will say anything, won't they?
They don't care.
Now, where would this kid get the idea? It's not my job to defend Pat Buchanan, but where would the kid get the idea that he's a racist? Somebody puts it.
His mother.
Yeah.
Bernard.
Bernard, yeah. But anyway, well, that's a good idea the Smithsonian's doing.
Sure.
And, well, very...
That's one.
Hmm? Well, that's one good idea they had. So that one of these kids will be taking your job, Barnacle.
Well, I tell you one thing, I just hope they stay away from the Massachusetts delegation. I mean, they think they get a reception from the Secret Service. Maybe they get to Congressman Studs' office.
Hey.
The other thing is, they saw this picture of Pat O'Brien that we have here.
Yeah.
One of the kids saw him in the bus station last night, and the parents told him, stay away from that guy.
That's my thought about Steve Forbes. You know, you see him around a grammar school, you call the police. I mean,
You could see him on the Ferris wheel at Neverland with him.
Mike Barnacle from the Boston Globe is with us. Coming up in a little bit, Tim Russert, who is the Washington bureau chief for NBC News and the host of Meet the Press, and somebody who they never give him. The thing that irritates me is they never give him enough time. What's the point of having him on the NBC Nightly News if you're not going to give him enough time? I mean, I love Tom Brokaw. We've had him on, and we'll have him on again, but you cannot understand what he's saying.
That's not true.
And McCord and I are hysterical last night because here's Tom Brokaw, and he's trying to give the internet address for NBC News, and he's going www. It's on the screen, folks.
Just hold up a sign.
Just hold up a sign, anything. You know, run a crawl, whatever you can do. So, how many days a week do you ride, actually?
3 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday.
Well, I mean, how does a person get a job like that?
Luck, same way you got your job.
Oh, well, it doesn't take any talent to do this, but you have to at least be able to spell it. Well, I guess you get a spell check on your computer, right?
Those kids thought you were Dole, you know.
No, they didn't.
No, they did. They said, the old man, am I right? That's Dole.
I thought he was Buchanan, James Buchanan.
Are both here, and Father Tom says to me, I'm not supposed to talk about this on the air?
Oh, no, you can talk on the... There's a friend of mine who's going out to the Mirage Hotel.
All right.
And he wants to play on Shadow Creek.
Everybody wants to play on Shadow Creek.
That is the toughest course to play on in the country.
Right.
So I was wondering if we could contact Steve Wynn and ask him for a favor.
Or Steve's guy, Alan Feldman. He's really the guy to talk
That's
to.
the guy. Alan Feldman? Sounds like a call I should make.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Is it wrong, Rabbi Gilman, that I hate people? That there are certain people I hate?
Well, Father Tom would say that it's wrong.
If we leave the hotel by...
How do you play 1 o'clock? About an hour.
Hey, Barnacle, how long does it take to drive from Concord to Boston to the airport?
An hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, that long. Well, then we'll have to leave here right away.
Well, I'm your PC Motor, the computer genius from Comp USA. Hey, what's wrong? Well, everybody's talking about the information super.
So I was didn't do. You have more news and stuff?
Sure. You need whatever you need. We got the Arkansas banker story. We got the dimming the lights story. Great story.
Then we get any hot coffee, Mark? So how were the kids?
Here with them, and they were charming. I was thinking that, there was a time when you might have dated him.
Well, what was it? I mean, it's not my job to defend Buchanan, but I just it kind of bothered me. I mean,
yeah. I'm out of a 10-year-old or 11-year-old where does he get them? Parents or from some of the hysterics. And so he simply repeats, parrots something that he's
and why would the Secret Service be shoving around these kids trying to get them?
Because they're in the damn way, that's why. But they were cute. That was a good thing to do. They were
I think Dole's in trouble. It sure makes it fascinating. That's what I like about it. It's like it's better than but it's really better than a pennant race. It's not better, but.
Can you imagine the theater if Buchanan ever got the nomination? Buchanan against Teacher.
Oh.
I mean, that's high theater. Oh, the best.
It doesn't get any better now.
It would drive him crazy. It'd drive him crazy. There's nothing he wouldn't bring up.
Absolutely. Say anything.
Yeah, well, it'd be great.
And a debate.
Oh, I hope it happens. He's smarter than Clinton, and he's quicker on his feet than he's much more articulate.
Clinton's no dummy, is he? Clinton's not a dummy, is he? Clinton's not a dummy, is he?
No, he's not. But I mean, Buchanan's smart in terms of which things. Running for president, he's as skilled as Clinton. In terms of the verbal aspect of it.
Now, I haven't thought about it.
The theater of it.
Yeah, well, that just makes it fabulous.
All right. Our guy.
Is Mike Wallace here again today?
Oh, he is.
Oh, he's done? Are you guys finished?
Eileen is next.
What are you doing?
We're just shooting the show today, and then we'll be done.
Oh, okay.
We're leaving here.
Where did Mike go?
Mike went home yesterday, actually. I'm not sure what he's doing.
Ready. What time's Timmy get? 8.
All right, now the Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile Fan Highway Patrol. And here from New York City is Eileen Marchese Cohen. Good morning, Eileen. I'm fine, how are you? How's your little jug-eared baby?
How's that devil baby doing, baby? How's your devil baby?
We have a technical difficulty, Lou, with Eileen.
I have no idea where she is.
How are you, by the way, Lou?
I'm doing great. I'm a little drunk, but...
What do you mean a little drunk?
Oh, nothing.
Guys with me having a party there because I'm gone because... Are we taking tomorrow off? Yeah, we are, aren't we?
I have no idea, man.
What do you mean? You shaking your head about your little weasel? You know, it's our program director, Mark Chernoff. Who, every time it's... Hey! Every time I'd see, we were on, they have a little brief shot of us on all these various news programs, including the NBC Nightly News with Mr. Brokaw, and we're all sitting here, and you can see this little forlorn soul sitting there, and it's Chernoff, you know.
Little bridge troll.
Like bring your son to work day.
Exactly, yeah. Like you just brought a kid to work, so. So Barnacle and I were, Mike Barnacle from the Boston Globe, we were talking when you people could not hear us, about the great theater involved in, because I guess the basis of this program is, well, it is reveling in the agony of everyone, including ourselves.
Precisely.
Unfortunately, mostly me, but, and it's not that we don't care about our country, but, you know, we're not trying to get any specific person elected. And so, but what really, the best scenario for us is Clinton Buchanan, right?
Oh, it would be unbelievable theater, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
This fall, the two of them debating the character issue, the sex issue, the bimbo issue, the free trade of women issue. Woo!
Because there's nothing that, first of all, Lamar Alexander is such a sleazeball that all of these various... Here's a guy who was in the private sector for who knows how long, and he was in it, let's just say he was in the private sector for before he became governor of Tennessee for 15 years.
Yes.
And he was only worth $150,000.
All right.
And then he becomes governor of Tennessee.
Right.
And 4 or 5 years later, he's suddenly worth $3 million.
Yeah.
And the thing that's and the thing that irritates me about him is he's so arrogant about it that he thinks it's okay. He thinks that everybody in this country has the right to get rich. Well, of course they do, but you know, well, how are you going to? He took $20,000 and turned it into $3 million, but he was unable to do that until he was governor. So I mean, he doesn't. I don't think he catches the irony there. So he's
done magical things with a dollar eye, man.
So he's just he's a bigger creep than I mean, anybody who thinks Buchanan is a creep, believe me, this guy's a much bigger creep than Buchanan ever even thought of being.
He should either be president of the United States, chairman of the Federal Reserve, or in Marionville, Illinois, for all of it, or something like that.
There, next to a cell with John. Yeah, it's not a question. You know, it's a guy who wants to. You know, who was fine when he was Secretary of Education. Now he wants to get rid of the agency. So, but when he was there, well, I don't want to go on about it. Steve, I get too irritated. You know, one of the things are jackets that my brother makes at the Auto Body Express. Unfortunately, they have the same lining.
That changes now.
And I'm ordering my brother to change the lining of these jackets just to anything else. So, but Buchanan's not going to get. Well, we're going to talk to Tim Russert and Cokie Roberts and other people, obviously, in the next week or so. But everyone I've seen talk, including Cokie Roberts and including Russert and those folks, and even you, don't think that Buchanan's going to get the nomination. But you know, nobody thought he'd win here today.
That's true. I mean,
except Cokie. But
I don't think him getting the nomination is impossible. It's improbable, but I don't think it's impossible. I mean, but in terms of our interests, it would be terrific if he did get it. First of all, who did he select as, you know, his vice presidential ticket? I mean, you know, Rommel's dead.
You sound like that kid, though. Well, it won't be Newt's sister.
Summer White House would be the Berkshire Gardens up there.
Has Newt reacted to any of this at all this morning?
I've seen no comments from Newt.
Because, I mean, Newt really is a guy who thinks, and I guess is, supposed to be setting the conservative agenda, but that's what's sort of just, at least in perception, sort of changes, doesn't it?
Co-opted by Mr. Buchanan at this point, quite possibly, certainly.
He will do or say something crazy within the next week, though, Gingrich, to get the cameras back, to get the lights back.
Oh, God, we can only hope so.
Yeah.
We can only hope so. I do think Buchanan, I mean, doesn't need any advice from me, but I think we got to cut back on the rhetoric that suggests that, you know, we need to mass our troops and move across America. I mean, instead of scaring some folks, you know, even people who might, you know, otherwise support him and stuff.
With the Marshall references, perhaps?
The pitchforks at the end of the driveway.
Yeah. All right, it's 11 till the hour here on the Imus the Morning program. Coming up in just as soon as he gets here, Tim Russert, and then a little bit later, Cokie Roberts, and also still to come this morning, some Beavis and Bubba and stuff. And we are live here in Manchester, New Hampshire at the High Five Restaurant, which is...
They're having difficulty getting Tim here because the forklift bringing him up broke.
No, that's hurtful. That's hurtful.
I might as well do this now rather than waiting until the end of the program. But the High Five, the people at the High Five Restaurant have been terrific. The Holiday Inn in Concord, I'm not a big Holiday Inn fan, but it's a very nice hotel.
It certainly is.
Beats sleeping in your car.
Sure.
And they've been very nice, and you know, there are no rodents in the rooms.
No.
Free ice.
And then the Star Limo scene, and from Hooksett and Edwin Keene. He's been very nice, a little annoying, but...
He hasn't been annoying.
It's great. And then Benson Auto in Franklin, they gave us a couple cars, which I guess you drove to the drugstore to get Pepto-Bismol, right?
That's right.
Went to that Buchanan rally.
And the people from we were up here on behalf of 4 radio stations. The 4 stations were on in New Hampshire, I-93 and I-107. And Stu Richter and Lindsay, I realize this doesn't mean much to you folks, but they've been nice to us, and I like them.
It's necessary.
Stu Richter and Lindsay Collins and Britt Johnson, they were the guys who they co-own the radio station. And
Britt's a problem, but that's
and then Al Perry from Mix 96.7. He's been very helpful. Jeff's up here and stuff, and my only real feeling is, and we had fun and stuff, but you know, being here today is like being 3 drunks waking up after the party and everybody's gone except you're here with, you know, a room full of essentially nuts, you know. So
homeless.
All right, 9 till the hour now.
What does Sharon from Portland, Maine want, Bernard?
She wants to tell you some dopey way to upload your catalog. He named her or something.
Oh, please, just hang out Jesus, God almighty. Sharon, stop the madness, baby. We just don't need this. I don't want to be saving any money.
There was this one other guy you just yelled at.
Well, I don't want to hear about it.
You don't want to hear about it?
No.
You don't want to know how to pay for it?
No.
Okay, man.
Well, what's this in reference to?
Your catalog.
Right. If your radio sounds funny, You're listening to Imus.
He was open tickets. You're worried about saving him money. He's got his cat in a limo going to the veterinarian. He didn't make you a phone in his trailer.
Yeah. Oh, good God, it might have sounded like the blues, don't it, baby? How? Well, it started when Four Wheel and Off-Road Magazine named it 4x4 of the Year, continuing the 1996 Truck Buyer's Guide, named one of the top 10 trucks. I'm talking about Grand Cherokee Limited. I just got a brand new one, black on black, 96 Grand Cherokee. You can try these. Go try these other 4x4s. I'm telling you, you'd be shocked.
It's no comparison.
It literally is. I mean,
Really
it's nothing to do with them sponsoring this program. It's just the new Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's unbelievable. Has heated seats in it like the Rolls-Royce, Bentley. You know, I mean, it's. By the way, Four Wheeler Magazine also named Grand Cherokee Four-Wheeler of the Year. Now, you can lease a Grand Cherokee Laredo. They're really neat looking. They're the ones that got the rubber on the side, you know. Monthly payment's $359 a month. No money down. The total's $12,924. Stop staring at me, Barnacle. Acquisition fee due in advance. For details and restrictions of this typical lease and for information about upfront charges and how this payment is figured, call 1-800-768-JEEP. So, let me talk to you about Twin Lab vitamins, which I take and Fred takes and Deidre takes and a bunch of people take, and you should probably take. I have a catalog, and I know you're figuring, why would I want to read a vitamin catalog? I mean, it just sounds fairly tedious. But, you know, you may have some kind of little rash going on you, baby, and you, some kind of thing that you're getting, hitting some little lull there about 4 in the afternoon. You need something to perk yourself up. You get this 100-page catalog from Twin Lab, and then just scan down there and find something to perk you up at 4 in the afternoon or whatever that might be. But so call Twin Lab, 1-800-471-7707. It's a great company, doing about $100 million a year. I mean, it's a world-class company. They make the best vitamins and minerals on the planet. Twin Lab, it's a word for good health. Now, where are we here?
315, free to dump the out.
Okay.
Here he is.
Great story. A couple of sex What Russert here?
Yeah.
All right. If you feel like just mentioning the one other station so they don't feel slighted. And another plug for Aurora Pens.
Thank you very much. Hello, Mr. Charles.
Hey, Tim. How are you?
Nice to see you.
Hi. Morning. We'll put you over here at 8 o'clock, okay?
Don't kiss me, sweet. One guy with all that passion. You ever seen one guy with so much passion?
Charles.
Tim, you want some coffee or something?
This is the template.
Yep.
We are coming up.
Barnacle, we want to say goodbye to you. Sit down here.
Not really.
I'm going to stay for a few minutes.
It is 3 minutes till the hour here on the Imus Morning program, and we are live in Manchester, New Hampshire at the Hi-Fi restaurant. Yeah. I wanted to mention Jeff Shapiro from WHDQ, Q106. Mr. Shapiro is also very helpful in bringing us all to New Hampshire here. And Mike Barnacle from the Boston Globe has been kind enough to come up 2 days in a row. So, but what are you going to do? Nothing, right?
There's nothing to do.
So
that's why I'm here. I'm homeless. I got nothing to do.
Yeah. I guess if we had to sum this all up, we're happy about what happened last night, aren't we? I mean, it just gives us something to talk about.
It's interesting. It's fun.
Yeah, we feel bad for Dole, but
he'll come back. You know, you never know what's going to happen with him. He could come back. Yeah. So could you.
Well, Tim Russert is coming up here in just a minute, and I took. I mean, he just walked. We just saw him at the Holiday Inn. We were sitting there, and he comes walking down the hallway, and I take a beating from him in the hallway. So.
Immediately, you did.
Yeah. So I fully expect that coming up. Oh, it's very nice of you to do this, bro. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mike Barnacle from the Boston Globe.
Absolutely. A beloved figure here in New Hampshire.
We'll talk with Tim Russert from NBC's Meet the Press, and he's Washington bureau chief for NBC News, and never gets enough time when he does on the NBC Nightly News, and always frustrates me, which is why we prevail on Mr. Russert to appear on our program, where he just has free reign and obviously can do whatever he wants. So also coming up a little later this morning, Richard Nixon and George Patton, for those of you folks who just... Are the people are you guys from 60 Minutes putting these other people from other networks on this story? Not, are you? Did Wallace go back? Yes. Are these hard questions? Is your correspondent here, Mike Wallace, or did he go back? He went back, right? Oh. Yes. So Mike probably right about now is... Well, we know what his routine is. He gets up at 6:30.
Right.
He gets his prune juice.
Yes.
He goes by his own admission. Then he has his little tea and...
He goes feed the pigeons around 8 o'clock.
Goes sits in the park, right?
Reads the paper.
So... Did you guys talk to Greenfield yesterday? Yes. Well, I'm not going to... You're not... So you're only pulling on CBS correspondence. Is that basically the deal? Oh, okay.
It's like a deposition.
Well, no, but I mean, unbelievable.
It's like a recess.
I'm supposed to do this Washington radio and TV correspondence dinner in Washington on March 21st, but Russert yesterday told me that I shouldn't do it. And so he's got me so nervous about it, so now I'm not going to do it. So
you said basically you would die.
Oh, come on, Tim.
So now I'm going. So now I will be canceling it. Coming up, is it next week? Coming up next Thursday and Friday is the CJ Foundation for SIDS and tomorrow's Children's Fund Radiothon. So
great.
Yeah. Anyway, I am Imus in the morning, and this is WFAN in New York and Infinity Broadcasting Station. It's Barnacle. Thank you very much, bro. Please get out. It's
just leave. Please just go.
It's time for the news, the local news. Now we'll get the national news in a minute. Time for the local news, sponsored by AT&T Wireless Cellular, whatever they do. And here's Charles McCoy. Good morning, Charlie.
Good morning, guy man. 48 degrees right now. The Imus weather, occasional rain and drizzle. 55 today. Some fog, some light rain tonight. The low 45. A chance of rain tomorrow. The high 55. 55 on Friday, but partly cloudy conditions. In the headlines, he lost because he spent too much time in Washington doing his job. That word this morning from California Congressman Bob Dornan, who says he is quitting the Republican presidential race after yesterday's New Hampshire primary result. I don't think applause is necessary for... Pat Buchanan finishes first in New Hampshire, 27% of the vote. Bob Dole a point behind. Lamar Alexander 23%, Forbes back with 12%, and insists that he is staying in the GOP race regardless. Legal news, the wait continues for rapper Snoop Doggy Dogg, also known as Calvin Broadus. He and his bodyguard were acquitted yesterday on murder charges. However, the jury remains deadlocked over the charge of voluntary manslaughter. And the Oklahoma City bombing trial moving to Denver because of all the pretrial publicity surrounding that case. And just what this planet needs, another book on the sex lives of the Kennedy men. It's called 3 Generations of Sex, Scandal, and Secrets. Author Nellie Bly asking the burning question, and I quote, "What do you get when you send Joey Buttafuoco to Harvard?" Answer, Ted Kennedy. Locally, in the New York City subway bombing case, the wife of defendant Edward Leary took the stand yesterday as his so-called Prozac defense got underway. Margaret Schaller detailed some of her husband's bizarre behavior in her estimation, said he began acting strangely about a year after he informed her he was taking the antidepressant drug. Leary's wife said he would cut his hair 2 and 3 times a day, that he brought home 12 discarded suitcases, old food that he had found that had been thrown out, used automobile batteries, and picked on facial blemishes with a nail clipper, among other odd behavior. Well, this is just
It was a
detailing-
whack job.
That's the point here, man.
Oh, okay.
His lawyers admit that Leary did bomb 2 New York subway trains and say he did it because he had been driven crazy, literally, their words, by Prozac and use of other prescription drugs. And then a Sayville, Long Island man is being accused of getting young boys to write their initials on his buttocks.
You know,
and
what
then
kind
take
of, wait a
pictures
minute,
of
what kind of news is this? What is this? What
we
about
have
the primary?
we have a terrible problem in this country with various kinds of abuse, and this is just another case.
No, but I mean, do we have to be so graphic with it?
I didn't know
Well,
Michael Jackson was from Sayville, Long Island.
What was it?
Well, we can't get to it now, but we will later, man.
Well, good.
Imus in the morning news time, 3 minutes after 8 o'clock.
It's me again on my cellular phone. All right. I'm at the Statue of Liberty, world's greatest symbol of freedom. Why? Yeah. To show you the freedom you'll
Let's do.
wireless services. See, if you sign up before March 31st, they'll give you
We'll do.
unlimited airtime.
Chuck, can you hear me? Let's do 2 or 3 minutes of national, so then we'll talk to Russert and just get his take on everything.
Sure.
We're just kind of doing it and get his take on everything.
Just establish a little bit of the story and then
Newsweek magazine, right?
Look at this picture. What do you notice about this picture?
Charles?
Yeah.
You want to post the news?
Yeah, but just put them. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Well, other than the NBC hat?
Boris Yeltsin.
I like that a lot. How does that happen?
You would like that.
How did that happen?
I met him in Vancouver. He said,
Oh, I love this.
you believe this?
Well, no, I think that's terrific. Hey, Charles, it's Yeltsin wearing a Meet the Press hat that Goofus gave him. He saw him at the airport, and Yeltsin goes, hat.
Fred will be insane.
Coming up. You know, I don't think so. Imus in the morning news time is 5 minutes past the hour. We are here in Manchester, New Hampshire at the High Five restaurant. We're going to do the national news here, but y'all give a nice hand to Tim Russert from NBC.
Yeah, the man.
We'll talk to Tim in just a minute or so, but first here's Charles McCord with a look at the national news. Good morning, Charles.
Good morning, man. Pat Buchanan calling on Republican Party leaders now to rally around him in the wake of his New Hampshire presidential primary win. Buchanan winning by just a single percentage point, though. Senate Majority Leader Dole losing by fewer than 1,400 votes out of the record 203,000 cast yesterday, 26% of the vote. Lamar Alexander close behind, 23%. Millionaire publisher Steve Forbes, fourth, 12% of the primary vote. This morning, Buchanan says he is declaring himself the candidate of the working class, the one the Republican Party needs to beat Bill Clinton in November. He says the party's old guard is trying to find a way to stop him, but he is unstoppable.
The establishment is coming together. You can hear them right now. The fax machines and the phones are buzzing in Washington, D.C. So you got to get together. Somebody's got to get out and take on the sky. One got to take them on.
All right, and that's Buchanan, according to Buchanan.
At least that wasn't a cut where he was talking about massing the troops.
No.
Which
No.
sort of made the I-Man just a little nervous.
He may already be rethinking that eye. No more campaign stops for California Congressman Bob Dornan. For him, it is out of here.
Well, Other did better than he did.
He lost to Other, he did. So he said, that's it, I'm just getting out.
Yeah.
So now there are 7 major GOP presidential candidates. Steve Forbes says despite his poor showing, he's still in the race for the duration and had this to say to his supporters.
Thanks to you, we are waging the campaign, the kind of campaign that the political pundits said was not possible.
Well, no, we did say it
That
was
is a
possible.
campaign combining vision with specific proposals
Lou.
for getting America.
And there you go.
You know, it is over, and please get out. That's all.
Former Vice President Dan Quayle and some other Republicans say Buchanan's slim victory in New Hampshire means the GOP nomination is, in fact, up for grabs. Mayor Rudolph Giuliani of New York City says there is no way he would endorse Pat Buchanan for president, or for anything else for that matter. The mayor ripping Buchanan, quote, as someone who spent most of his life dividing people, and says his candidacy is harming the Republican Party, and he appeals to the very, very worst instincts in people. Mayor Giuliani says he is not at a point yet where he will make an official endorsement of one of the other GOP candidates.
Tim Russert is the host of Meet the Press, and he also, as you know, is the Washington bureau chief for NBC News, and he is here now, and we just welcomed him. Tell me what you think about all this.
That's nice to hear.
Oh my God. First thing,
flip that.
There we go.
Nice to be here, Mr. Imus. It's fitting that...
Thank you for coming over here, by the way.
It's fitting that you're in the top of a senior citizen center.
He's going to start right now.
You know, did you read the local paper? You don't read the local papers because you're big. You're from New York.
I read that.
The Union Leader?
Yes.
Did you read it on the air?
No, go ahead.
Thank you. Hey, Don Imus, why are you bringing in a border-crossing carpetbagger like Mike Barnacle? Right? When you've got the real deal right here, you one-lung, spackle-faced, cradle-robbing, pencil-necked geek. Separated at birth, Don Imus and Boris Karloff. Now, the way Sister Mary Lucille taught me, let me go through these very carefully. One lung. You know why? No, I won't go through it. Spackle face. No, never mind. That's cradle robbing. We know that. No, now, where were we, Don?
Well, here's the thing. You see, when someone who's a big deal like you...
You're much cuter in person. You really are.
When someone who's a big deal like you makes fun of me, then it makes me feel bad. Now, yesterday, we meet you in the hallway, and I've agreed to do...
And you said, who's going to win, and what did I say?
You said Pat Buchanan.
Thank you.
And didn't he say that?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
And so did Cokie Roberts. I think you may be the only two people who actually predicted that this was going to happen. Well, why did it happen? Well, what do you think about all of it?
This is a huge event. It is not only the Republican Party that is shaken this morning, it's Wall Street, corporate America. This is not what they expected from the Republican Party in 1996. And if you look at this, the conventional wisdom now is that Pat Buchanan will succeed over the next few weeks because it's a muddled multi-candidate field. We go to Arizona on Tuesday. Steve Forbes is going full board ahead with his TV and radio ads. Bob Dole is out in Arizona.
Is Forbes still leading in Arizona?
Well, he was as of last night, but he'll drop quickly.
Okay.
But nonetheless, it's a traveling circus. People have not been exposed to all these candidates till they get there. And in a three-way race in Arizona, Pat Buchanan has a very good chance. Bob Dole will win North or South Dakota to try to get a victory under his belt on the same day. The following Saturday, South Carolina, you will have Pat Buchanan, Bob Dole. Lamar Alexander leaves today for South Carolina to plant the flag. It's make or break for Alexander in South Carolina. Pat Buchanan can win South Carolina in a three-way race. Then where are you? You go to Georgia the following week, Maryland and Massachusetts. Dole can win Massachusetts, perhaps, Maryland. But the conventional wisdom is if Dole can get Buchanan one-on-one, he can beat him. Are you sure of that? Would you bet on that this morning?
No, I would not.
Why?
Well, because of what happened here.
This morning on the Today Show, and I'm sure all the morning shows, Lamar Alexander and Pat Buchanan were out there saying, this is my message. Bob Dole declined all interviews. He is going to, I mean, and I know the reverence and the admiration and affection you have for Senator Dole, but things have changed. He can no longer campaign in a cocoon. If he wants this nomination, he has to fight for it. He has to take off his jacket and say, listen, folks, I deserve to be your nominee. This is what I believe in. I mean, I was talking to Mike Barnacle the other day. If Bob Dole came to the country and said, listen, there's been 3 battles in my life. The first against fascism, and I gave my arm, and we won. The second was against communism, and we brought the Berlin Wall down. I stood with Ronald Reagan. And the third is against Bill Clinton and his liberalism. And I'm going to take on that fight and balance banana and give people a hook, give people a rationale, give people a reason other than I'm Bob Dole, I like New Hampshire likes me.
Well, I mean, yeah, I do like him, but we talked to him yesterday, and we had bumper stickers for all of them. We had Buchanan, America First. We had Lamar Alexander. His bumper sticker would say, "Me first." And I asked...
I thought that was yours.
Well, it is mine, but I'm not running for anything. And I asked Bob Dole what his would say, and he said leadership. And, well, that may be, but it certainly doesn't resonate with anybody. I thought he spoke with more passion last night than he has in some time.
Well, because he sees it slipping away. 1 out of 4 voters in New Hampshire said they were originally for Dole and backed off him. Pat Buchanan, 1 out of 5 voters last night for Pat Buchanan were pro-choice. Why did they vote for Pat Buchanan? Because he's sending a message. He's an outsider. He's an agitator. Now, whether or not they want him as their nominee, when you ask the second question, can he beat Bill Clinton, you don't know. The real issue here is Newt Gingrich. You should do anything you can to get Newt Gingrich on this program.
What, has anybody said anything about, has he said anything?
Well, he is saying privately to people, listen, if Buchanan's the nominee, we lose the House and I'm no longer Speaker. And we better get busy on this because we're going to really lose all our contract with America, the entire Republican agenda, because what Pat Buchanan does is he divides the Republican Party not only the issue of abortion, not only in the issue of gays, not only in the issue of trade, but on the whole issue. For example, Pat Buchanan was criticizing Newt Gingrich's contract on Medicare. This is a deep, deep division. And if you look at the conservative movement, William F. Buckley said that Pat Buchanan's anti-Semitic. William Bennett says he flirts with fascism. Newt Gingrich said he's a reactionary. I mean, all Bill Clinton has to do is take Buckley, Bennett, and Gingrich and say, paid for by Clinton Gore.
I had some 13-year-old kid here this morning writing for this kids magazine for the Smithsonian. He called him a racist. So, well, I don't think he's a racist.
I don't think you should throw words like that around, but I do think that he has a paper trail, and something new in American politics. He has a video trail. I mean, you go back to Crossfire, McLaughlin Group, there are lots of interesting sound bites that can be replayed.
Well, Alexander claims it's a two-man race, him and Buchanan, and Dole claims it's a two-man race.
That's wishful thinking. It's a 3-person race right now, in 4, counting Forbes and Arizona. And as long as the multi-candidate field exists, Pat Buchanan's going to get his 25 to 30% and go on. Alexander has a very important meeting this morning at 9:30. He is calling the 200 fundraisers across the country and begging for money, saying, please finance my campaign in South Carolina. I can win there. You know Dole can't beat Buchanan. Give me a crack at this.
Well, all of the big Republican folks who give money to candidates, they're going to pick one to give it to, aren't they? Either Dole or...
most of them have given. You know, this whole idea of, well, the Republican Party will not allow Pat Buchanan to be its nominee. Who's the Republican Party? Who's going to stop him if he keeps winning primaries? What they have to do is find someone, either Dole or Buchanan, Dole or Alexander, one-on-one, but someone who can lay out, who can debate the issues. You want to talk about trade, Mr. Buchanan? You want to talk about New Hampshire? You know what New Hampshire would be without trade? It's stunning, and yet you never heard the debate engaged. This is a state that lives off of trade, and so does Iowa.
Can you hang on just a couple of minutes?
Sure, if you want.
Okay. Well, of course I want, yeah, but we have to, you know about this.
I want to talk to you about prior limousine service. You want to talk about this?
In a couple of minutes.
Okay.
It's a quarter after the hour. Tim Russert from NBC is here, and we'll talk to him coming up. Now, what am I doing here? These two, all right.
When you're ready, bring that back on here. I'll leave it off so you don't...
All right, let me talk to you about, I'm certain it's something here. Oh, let me talk to you about the Treetop Villas up in the Poconos. They're just 90 minutes from New York City. Treetop Villa, one of the most beautiful vacation hideaways in the world. Normally a full 5-night stay valued at $800. Treetop Villa offering this truly unbelievable deal. You can enjoy 6 days and 5 nights in a luxurious 2-bedroom condominium, complete with a jacuzzi, a fireplace, a full kitchen, a lot of other stuff, for the great price of only $295. Man, that's pretty good, huh? Now, this is not per person. It's the grand total. $295 gets you 6 days of skiing, swimming, and indoor pool, or just hanging out. So give them a call, 1-800-705-5550. And Treetop Villa, one of the top vacation spots in the Pocono Mountains. Never been up to the Poconos. It's a beautiful area. And it could be 6 days and 5 nights up there. Man, I mean, for $295 for both of you, how's that? So 1-800-705-5550. I was talking to Mike Wallace the other day, and he said that he had called the Vermont Teddy Bear Company and then ordered a teddy bear for his wife. Well, Mike Wallace's wife is somewhat younger than he is, right?
Yeah, I believe so, I am.
Okay. So She got a little teddy bear to kind of snuggle up with, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
So you could get one as well. 1-800. You could get like a Tim Russert, Mike Barnacle Vermont teddy bear.
Yeah, and place them in odd positions. Yes.
Exactly.
Sure.
Get like you could get a little Tim Russert bear with a little beeper on it, a little hat, a little says press on it, that kind of deal. Call 1-800-829-BEAR. Maybe get a little meet the press hat.
Yes.
And put on your Vermont teddy bear.
Exactly.
And dress it up in a neat little blue blazer for maybe see him here than your home. 1-800-829